What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to basketball, and more importantly, welcome back to the NBA teams page. No, you guys know what this is at this point. We are doing one breakout player for every single NBA team. It's kind of that dead point in the season. We need things to talk about, so I've been splitting this video up into 3 different parts because this video tends to take quite a bit of time. We're going to go look at each individual team, find a breakout player for them, kind of talk about why we think they might be having a big season this upcoming year. And again, this is part 3, so we've got the last how many teams is this? The last 10 teams. It's early in the morning trying to get a recording done, but we got 10 teams left. Should be a good time. I'm ready to jump into it, but before we do that, make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and comment. I've responded to every single comment on my YouTube channel up to this point, and I intend to keep on doing so. We got a lot of fun content on the channel right now, especially with FIBA going on. I know the videos aren't necessarily doing the best, but I think they're a lot of fun to go into. We've also got other stats, breakdowns, and summer league stuff you can look into if you're curious, but the NBA season is almost back. A reminder that we're going to be doing our season preview series starting real soon, September 1st. We're going to break down every single team in depth, talking about team goals, analytics, all the fun stuff. It should be a great time. Let's get into the video. You know, it's only fitting that I have a really scuffed intro at this point in the NBA season, right? There's just nothing going on right now. But shout out Malik Beasley. Apparently he's back, not going to jail. So there you go. There's some NBA news. And there is one other part to this video that we have to remind the audience of. And that's the fact that we aren't just judging the top breakout players right now. In all the other videos we've done on this series, the other 2, we've also been judging teams' websites because it's that time of the season. We need to judge who has the best websites and who don't have the best websites, at least the opening page. And already, we're starting with the Golden State Warriors. They're trying to sell to me right away. I don't appreciate this. This is too many things to fill in, too. Like, I get to do a lot of UI stuff for, like, my company's website, things like this. Already, you're hitting me with 5 questions. You want me to do the I'm not a robot thing or whatever. It's too much. It's too much. What else we got on here? We've got a blurry picture. We didn't even get like a clean picture on here. Some of this stuff looks pretty good here. Steve Kerr's bold lineup decisions and buy-ins from the vets. Okay, there's an exclusive YouTube series, though. That's kind of interesting. The preseason schedule's here. They're shouting out the Valkyrie. That's always cool. Okay. There's something going on here, but I don't know. This one isn't bad. This one isn't bad. At least there's like some off-season stuff that they can talk about, and they've got the YouTube series. That's cool. They need stuff to talk about during the off-season. But let's take a look at the roster and figure out who's going to be the breakout player for the team this year. Well, Jonathan Kuminga is even going to be on the team at this point. They've got Gary Payton listed as like a free agent, so like he's not even really on the team. Are we going to see like a Pods or like a Moody real breakout? I don't know what Pods would have to do to like really break out, because I feel like he's just kind of got that role player build in him where there's not an exact skill set that you go to him for, and like we like the defense and everything, that's cool, but I'm not sure we're going to see that next leap. Like Jonathan Kuminga is like an obvious pick here. It's still hard for me to believe that he is going to be on the team this year, but they've got to try something to get this guy off the roster, just because it just does not work for them. It doesn't benefit him, and it doesn't benefit the Warriors to have him on the team at this point. He just messes up what they're trying to do on offense too often. Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield, Guy Santos, Quentin Post, that's probably one you could look at. Is Quentin Post probably the starting center for them going in right now? Well, we should probably say that, like, yes, the Warriors have not actually gone and, like, filled out their roster very much yet. They haven't actually made any off-season moves, technically, and I keep saying this on the channel, but don't freak out, Warriors fans. You guys have to do the Jonathan Kuminga stuff first. Then you're going to sign some people. I know for a fact there's, like, 3 or 4 guys that are literally just like, yeah, no, we're cool. We're going to sign with you guys as soon as you get this shit figured out. So there are moves to be made. I'm sure they wish that they would have made some moves by now, but don't worry. But as of right now, I presume Quentin Post is going to be the starting center, which is exciting considering how late you got him in the draft this last year. I don't know if he's ever going to be like rim running, like shot blocking type of big or whatever, but he's smart and he fits in the flow of the offense well, and he can step out and hit a 3. So that's exciting enough. So maybe watch out for Quentin Post as he kind of continues to learn the game and evolve. Otherwise, I'm not so sure. So I guess I'm going to have to say Quentin Post for the time being. Again, I don't know who else would really fit into that spot right now, just because Kuminga, one, I don't think he's just going to be able to evolve. How many years has he had here now? 4 years to kind of figure it out within this system, and he doesn't seem to be able to. So I'm gonna I'm going to go with Quentin Post here. All right, moving on to the Clippers. This is going to be a tough one because this is the oldest team in like NBA history right now. Alrighty, we're already locked in. The schedule is live. Okay, they're advertising new stadium. I get it. That's cool. They're not trying to sell to me too much, not trying to get me on a newsletter or anything like that. Clippers season membership, blah, 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 blah. Ultimate wall pass. I would love to go see a game at like the new Clippers stadium. They got a shop now thing, but there's no like off-season stuff or anything here, so I don't know. There's nothing. We saw who had like the best one so far. I feel like it was like Toronto or something, because they were like, hey, you can play some games on our website, like, hey, check out some of the highlights or whatever that we had from the previous season. New season, new faces. That's kind of cool, I suppose, but kind of just bleh. They're really just riding off the fact that they got a cool-ass stadium, I guess. But, you know, whatever. All right, who's going to be a breakout player for this team? Because we just got old studs on the team everywhere here. Look at this. Bradley Beal, James Harden, Kawhi, Chris Paul. What a squad. Shout out Derek Jones, Chris Dunn here. You got Bogey. This roster is awesome. Brook Lopez, Jordan Miller, maybe he gets... Didn't they cut Jordan Miller, right? Is he not on the team anymore? I don't remember exactly. I don't think Cam Christie's getting burned like that. Yannick's a rookie, so he doesn't really count. John Collins. Who else could we... Ben Simmons isn't technically on the roster. Is there an obvious selection here? I don't know if there is. I don't know if there's a breakout player thing here. Because, like, let's even just take John Collins, right? John Collins is going to be on a team where he's like the fifth option, which is pretty crazy for how good of a player John Collins is, right? For those of you that aren't familiar, he's been pretty solid in Utah over the past couple seasons. Just he plays in Utah, you don't get to see him very much. And so, but I still don't think he's going to see like this big jump in development or be like a breakout player, because there's just so many other good players on this roster. So I don't know exactly if that'll happen, but there was a breakout player on the team last year in Ivica Zubac. It's funny. I'm not on social media very much, but one of the things that I saw on like Instagram or something like that was a post about Ivica Zubac, how he is a higher rated player in 2K this next year, which, like, look, the 2K ratings, I don't read into them too much, but people need shit to talk about, right? That he's like a higher overall than like all these other NBA players, and people are like, that's crazy, I can't believe this. I don't think y'all realize how good Zubac was last year. Zubac was dominant in the NBA this last year. Just because he's not the one like crossing over, hitting a step back three or something, doesn't mean dude was not absolutely killing it last year. So he was a breakout player this last year. I guess if he continues to do it, great. That's awesome. I mean, I certainly enjoyed watching him play, but I don't think there's an obvious one on this team. Team's too old. There's no like guys that I think are gonna like break out unless Chris Dunn all of a sudden is like super wet from three and he's gonna take like 8 shots a game. I don't think there is anybody. So Clippers fans, you get nobody, and you know what? You're gonna have to deal with it because it's Friday and I don't give a shit. All right, let's move on to the Lakers. I expect a good website out of the Lakers. I really do. Okay, so we got the schedule announced. We got another season schedule announced right here. Both posted on the same day. Okay, it's a cool graphic and everything. They extended Luka. There was how many days between this? There was like 2 weeks in between this stuff. And then another like just repeat news thing. Oh, Lakers, y'all ain't got nothing better to do? Okay, they're showing Marcus Smart. I don't know. They've got some highlights down here. Laker dunks that made the arena erupt in the last 5 years. That was 24 days ago. Come on, y'all, like get us excited for this. This is subpar. This is subpar. Your news is repeat. Look, they posted these on the same day, these on the same day. Not good. Not good enough. I get it. It's the boring time of the season. Why do you think I'm making the videos that I'm making right now? You think I wanted to rank the top 25 players in the NBA? Fuck no, I didn't, but I did it anyway because I'm committed to the grind. All right, let's go look at the roster before I do something stupid. DeAndre Ayton's kind of an obvious choice. Now, DeAndre Ayton has been like a good counting stats NBA player for quite a while now, right? I mean, there's not many guys in the NBA that can get you like 20 and 12 on any given night, and that's something that he can do. But we acknowledge that it's not really winning basketball or anything. By the way, can I just say, this is completely offbeat. We need to stop doing the wings like just outside of the jersey, like tattoos like this. It's been going on for too long. It looks goofy. Just don't do it. Look, I'm not a man with any tats or anything. I wouldn't mind getting like a tattoo or something like that, but this I've just seen it too much, man. You're not original. Your life has been lived too many times. But anyway, DeAndre Ayton could start playing some winning basketball here. I just hope that playing around a Luka, LeBron, you have JJ Redick as a coach who is kind of a X's and O's expert, as we've seen already. I'd love to see him get into like a more efficient winning type role where he can use all the physical gifts that he has and really become something. Rui, you saw a big step up from him this last year. I feel like I see a lot of hate online for Rui Hachimura, and I think that's more so just because Lakers fans become enamored with players that aren't on their team at all times because they always think they're going to make some big trade and then they don't, and then they get butthurt about it. They're like, EVC, why won't the Jazz give us Walker Kessler? It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Walker Kessler's good. Like, Utah doesn't want to just give him away. Like, but why? I don't know how to explain this to you, dum-dum. I just don't. Rui was a good player last year, man. Like, just be happy to have Rui on the team. Jackson Hayes in more of a backup role this next year, maybe with another year on the team. Again, he's another guy. Just use your physical gifts to be more productive. Bronny, doubt he gets any more minutes this next year. I still like Bronny. Maxi Kleba, Dalton Connect. I mean, it seems like people have really started to shit on Dalton Connect a little bit too. It's crazy how quickly like narratives change on things. Dude can clearly get some buckets or whatever, so he'll be a guy to watch. Just because they're gonna need some scoring on this team. There's not a ton of just pure creators. Jake LaRavia, I'll be curious to see this like with a little bit more public eye. And he will just have like a clear bench role on this team. We kind of saw him stuck in developmental hell with the Grizzlies because there were just so many other people that were like quality players on the team. I'm curious to see if JJ Redick's able to pull something out of him. So a couple players that we're interested in. I don't believe either of these guys are on the team. Didn't Markieff Morris get arrested, or was that Marcus? I can't remember. I don't remember. Austin Reeves, I guess if he gets better defensively, then he's just an all-star at this point, right? Otherwise, I'm not sure who else it would be. So I guess we're kind of deciding between like a LaRavia, Connect, and then DeAndre Ayton, but I'm kind of thinking Ayton is the obvious one. The talent is so evident there, and this is the perfect situation for him. It really is. If it doesn't happen this year, then I don't know. We got to give it time, right? Like, it's not going to be a day one thing. It takes a while to get into this stuff, but I'm excited. Skinny Luka plus DeAndre Ayton, NBA Finals bound, because why not? All right, that's the Lakers. Let's move on. The Phoenix Suns. Oh boy, I feel like this one's gonna hurt my brain to look at. Ooh, fancy website a little bit right now. Oh, it's loading in a little bit slow though. What is this? What is this button right here? What happens if I click this? What's happening? Whoa! Custom colors. What's going? Whoa! Whoa! Why? Okay. I can just change y'all's website to be whatever I want. They're like, fuck it. We knew AVC was coming to town. You can make the website whatever you want, dog. Whatever you want. What the hell is going on here? Is there a way to like reset or whatever? I don't know. I can increase the font size. Oh my goodness. What? You shouldn't have given me all this power. I feel like I almost need to take points away because you gave me too much power. Well, this is fun, if nothing else. That's cool. Ryan Dunn's looking at me right now like, what the fuck did y'all just do to our website? Doesn't look like they're really advertising much else besides the tickets, but the fact that I can fuck with the website makes this an above-average website. I'm going to have to say, shout out the Phoenix Suns for that. Okay, let's move on to the roster. Is it going to stay when I load it? Interesting, it doesn't. Okay, that's totally fine. Oh, there we go. All right. Awesome. Now we're talking. Alrighty. A couple rookies here right away. I'm excited to watch Maluach and Kobe Brea. Shout out Kobe Brea, the GOAT of this channel. If you know, you know. But obviously not like breakout players because they're rookies. Ryan Dunn, definitely a guy to watch this last year. Defense was amazing, and actually the offense last year started out pretty damn good, and then it fell off pretty substantially. But look, this Phoenix Suns team, outside of the three people scoring, not necessarily the best offense in the world, so we're hoping, new coaching staff coming in, gonna organize things a little bit. We still don't necessarily have like clear playmakers on the team, and that worries me a little bit for guys like Ryan Dunn, whose whole offense in college still was just backdoor cutting and trying to dunk the basketball, which he was actually pretty solid at it, but Maybe he just becomes a more reliable three-point shooter and he can become a higher level contributor. We'll see. Nick Richards, I'm still surprised at a trade here. There's a couple like moves this offseason that I just can't believe haven't happened. Like after them going and getting Mark Williams and Maluach, like Nick Richards just seems like such a valuable trade piece right now just because bigs are hard to find. He's super cheap. So I don't necessarily get it. I get Nick Richards was not great when he got to Phoenix, but you would think people would have the context clues to be like, look, Phoenix was just not working well at all for anybody. So like, I don't know why it matters. Shout out Dylan Brooks. Jalen Green, I guess, is an obvious one. We all know the talents there. Led the Rockets in scoring this last season, and so is he just gonna learn basketball more, right? Like we all know it's decision making, it's the efficiency, consistency. Still a young guy, a lot of time to go, extremely talented. It'd be dumb of us not to kind of point him out. Grayson Allen, Damian Lee, I don't think Bobo's even on the team at this point. Oso Iguodaro's probably the most obvious choice right now as well. It's just a forward that you can bring off the bench and you can kind of use some of his defensive, like, look, he's not like blocking shots or anything, but he's pretty good at keeping people in front of him, and his playmaking is actually quietly like really good already. This is a guy that I can see you running some hub offense through and him becoming a solid contributor to this team. So I kind of like the Oso call here more than anything else. Who else we get? Oh, geez, the roster gets a little bit scary. Mark Williams, I guess, if he's putting in an effort, could be a good one as well. Shout out Nigel Hayes joining this team. Kind of an unexpected one after dominating overseas. Curious to watch him. Shout out Rasheer Fleming on this team as well. I think this team did a really good job drafting young people this last year. I'm curious to see Nigel Hayes play some NBA basketball. It's been a little bit. So we're thinking Mark Williams, if he puts in an effort. I think Oso Iguodaro is going to get like a much bigger role this year. I'm not sure it'll be considered like breakout player, right? Especially just because there are a lot of other bigs on this team, and are you really going to run him as like a 4 or something like that? I don't think that that's going to help the team out very much. So who do we go with? Do we go with like a Jalen Green or something? Maybe I'll just put Jalen Green on the thumbnail just because that'll get people to click. So maybe we'll just do that one. All right, let's move on to the Sacramento Kings. I'm curious to see what their website's looking like. All right, tickets on sale now. They still got DeMar and Levine on there. I'm amazed like a DeMar trade hasn't happened either. DeMar can trade for somebody. I like the graphics and the aesthetic on here. I think that this looks pretty cool. What else we got in here? Kings Insider, all the latest Kings news. All right, we got Crib Club. Interesting. Is that supposed to be a play on like Crips? I don't know. I don't exactly know. Kings announced their regular season schedule, and they've got their rookies on there. Interesting. Signing some people. Bringing back Dougie McBuckets. We love that. Not much really going on here. Not a ton going on here on this website. I like the aesthetic, though. It looks cool, but is that just because they put a cool filter on things and the Kings have sick colors? Yes, almost certainly. So, I don't know. Below average is what I'm going to say. They get below average. Who's average? I don't know. Who's breaking out for this team? More so, who's breaking off or breaking away from this roster and freeing themselves? Because the Kings are in purgatory. Kings and Bulls, worst 2 situations in the NBA. I'm just saying it. The De'Aaron Fox stuff, it was tough. I think they did the best they could with it, but they're just in a shitty situation right now. Hopefully they realize they're in a shitty situation right now. Malik Monk, free my man here. Or we shouldn't even do a breakout player for this one. We should call this the free my man's section. We're going to say free my man's Malik Monk. Isaac Jones, you got to stay here. Oh no, you're a free agent. My bad. The Neat Clifford, he's a rookie. Dougie McBuckets, Levine, free my man Levine. Can someone just let him play for a good NBA team at some point, please? Like, one of the best offensive players we have in basketball, stuck on shitty basketball teams that don't know how to build anything. He was on the Timberwolves before the Timberwolves were good, went to the Bulls. We know how the Bulls have been the past couple years. Went to Western Conference Bulls in the Sacramento Kings. So, yeah, is what it is. Shout out Dario Saric that somehow got traded here. Free my man Debo right here. Free my man Sabonis. Free Keegan Murray, too. I want to kind of keep him on this team, though, so we can see him develop. He feels like the obvious one for the point of this video. You guys have heard me say, I think the talent of Keegan Murray is so good. I've seen a lot out of him that I like. We've seen some shooting. We've seen some elite defense. We've even seen some ball handling and playmaking and creating and stuff to where, he's like, when he was actually shooting a lot better, he's catching the ball, he's hitting his threes, right? And then after a while, we saw him start to put the ball on the floor and even like kind of hesitate, be like, okay, where am I going next with this? He's reading the defense, go, make the next right pass. Or I'm getting to a floater, I'm getting this one. I'm like, all right, he's showing some creation ability. But then he lost more touches and stuff just due to other players kind of being on the team. I want to see if Keegan Murray can be more of that dude. I really, really do. All right, who else is on here? Shout out Dennis Schroeder being on this team. They got Drew Eubanks. Did he join this team? I don't even remember at this point. I think he did. Keon Ellis, just getting more playing time. Yeah, that could be it. Devin Carter, rookie last year, injuries and everything kind of took a toll on him. Not sure I see it being a big jump or anything. And look, it's just a second year. It'd be unfair to assume that should happen in a second season. Keon Ellis, probably an obvious one. He just needs to play more. That was one of the weird things with the Kings last year, is that they just didn't play this guy enough, even though they needed shooting, they needed more people to play defense. Keon Ellis is great at both of those. Free my man Keon Ellis, I suppose. Who else is on here? This roster is bumming me out. This roster is bumming me out. So we got a number 29 on the team. I can't. I absolutely can't. So I guess we're saying Keon Ellis or Keegan Murray, and we've got a lot of Freema-mans on this team. That's where I'm going to go with it. I think that's fair. All right, moving on from the Kings. I don't want to spend more time on them. The Dallas Mavericks. This is probably going to be a hard one to pick from, right? Let's see what the Mavericks got going on. Already, super cool graphic right here. I love this. Some interesting Photoshop like filters that they have on this. They'd like to send me notifications. I don't know. These are some really cool graphics. Your Photoshop team though is doing a good job. This is a different way to kind of scroll through things. Preseason schedule, live it live, buy more tickets. I get it. You want us to buy some tickets or whatever. Number one pick pack. See there, number one picks versus ours. Interesting promotional thing, I suppose. Still wanting me to buy tickets and flag captured. Okay. I'd like to see some highlights, maybe some other things here, shop some Mavs gear, but I like that the website is set up different. They didn't use the generic, like, Wix background for this that, like, a lot of the other teams did. So we're going to give them above average. The content, though, it's a little salesy. Right now, it's a little bit salesy, but look, they got a good, exciting young team. I get it. Okay, now, how do I actually, like, get to... Okay, it's over here. It's a little bit hidden. Let's get to the team. And they take me right to the team. Okay, fair enough. Who are we thinking for breakout people? Obviously, Cooper Flagg does not count, but we think he's going to be good this year. Max Christie, is he going to have the role to break out? We saw him kind of ball when he got to the Mavs, and they kind of needed him to, just because there were some injuries and other things going on. Luka had just been moved, obviously, as he was a part of the trade. Max Christie's a guy that we kind of expect to continue to get better and better and better, but does he need the ball in order to do that, and is he really going to get it? Not so sure. So that's one to watch. Jaden Hardy, you guys know I like Jaden Hardy. I'd like to see him just get a little bit more consistent, and I think that there could be something there. I feel like Daniel Gafford has kind of become what he's become in the NBA, which is a good thing. Derek Lively. Could we see him take another step? Like, here's what I imagine is taking like another step, right? And it's going to be hard for him to be a true breakout because they have such a good forward rotation on this team, right? Derek Lively was already good at like the run, jump, and dunk, block shots type of thing. And then we saw him start to become a bit of a playmaker last year as well. When Luka or Kyrie were getting like iced, he's the short roll guy and he's the one playing 4-on-3 and making the decision. That's huge, right? Big time development for him. Let's hope that continues to grow. Is he going to be a guy where he can take a couple steps and maybe now take a floater, something like that from the mid-range as well, and kind of add that to the repertoire, because that would be an extremely valuable asset to him. Is that a huge breakout thing? I don't necessarily know. Najee Marshall, maybe a guy that they go to for some more playmaking this next year. We know that when he can do some stuff with the ball, and because Kyrie's out to kind of start the year, maybe they go to that a little bit more. So maybe he's an option. Man, there's so many quality players on this team. Shout out Caleb Martin. D'Angelo Russell still is going to be on the team now. Klay Thompson, PJ Washington. Like, man, what a stacked lineup that these guys are going to have. I can't wait to see kind of what they roll out. But I'm going to say like either a Najee Marshall, Derek Lively type thing, just because I don't think Max Christie's going to be put in a situation to where he necessarily can break out. But let's give it to like one of these guys. But again, like, Derek Lively, it'll be hard to do so just because you've got Daniel Gafford, you have Anthony Davis, you got Cooper Flagg, you got PJ Washington, just a lot of other guys. Oh, Brandon Williams. I should have talked about Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams is cold, man. And he might just get some minutes at the point guard spot this year. So, you know what? Give it to Brandon Williams. Give it to Brandon. I just completely overlooked him. That's my bad. That's my bad. AVC, you know a little bit of ball. Congratulations. All right, moving on. Now we've got the Houston Rockets. Let me see what kind of whoa, schedule out now. Explosion. We have liftoff. I feel like they missed a pun there with like the liftoff Rockets and everything. Houston Rockets, they announced season schedule. Schedule is out now. Why do people keep posting the same thing or whatever? Clutch the Bear visits the Today Show. Okay, I guess I don't really give a shit. Roster update. They signed 2 players. Who? I don't know who it is. Blah, 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 blah is an auction. They're funding some stuff. They signed Josh Okogie. I forgot they signed Josh Okogie. That's cool. Not a ton going on with this. They're selling me some stuff or whatever. Okay, cool. I guess. I don't know. Nothing like all that interesting. It got a cool design, I suppose. So this one feels average. This one just kind of feels average. I'm glad that it's not generic. They put some work into it, but nothing all that crazy. So there you go. And by the way, big correlation between how good your... Oh, boy. We just went to the team roster, and they showed Jalen Green first? No, you didn't. Tell me you didn't update the website. No shot. Y'all didn't update the webs. No, this is bottom tier. There's no way I should click on team roster right now and you still have guys that you traded on here. Kevin Durant isn't on this? Nah. Cam Whitmore's here still and everything. Nah, y'all have an ass website. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all gotta update this shit. You just do. I'm looking for a slider or something that tells me like this current season or something. I don't see it. Look, the obvious person is Amen Thompson, right? I know we talk about him a lot on the channel. We picked him in go watch our like award prediction video right here. He's on the cover of this one actually. Maybe I'll just use this same cutout of Amen Thompson in the thumbnail as well, because that'd be a perfect one to put in like this spot right here. You know what? I'm gonna do that shit. Just you watch. But Amen Thompson just feels like a guy that's gonna become an all-star real soon. So yeah, do we really need to talk about it anymore? We talk about it all the time. He's good at basically everything in the NBA but shooting at this point already. And look, there's obviously things to learn or whatever in terms of like where to be on the court in certain times, like offensively, there's always going to be stuff you can add to the game. And already he's pretty good at that stuff, knowing when to cut and move without the basketball. I hope that he just has the basketball more this year and he can start to develop more of those playmaking type skill sets even further. But Amen Thompson is the obvious option. Houston, update your website. Houston, we have a problem. Let's move on to the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, Memphis, what do we got? 5 can't miss games as retooled Grizzlies reset for 2025-2026 NBA season. Did they really retool that much? I don't know. All right, so here's the schedule. Cool, showing everybody's favorite jerseys here. NBA to feature Memphis Grizzlies and Orlando Magic in Berlin. Okay. To hold final auction for the Grizz Girls. I don't know who the Grizz Girls are. Season schedule. Cool. Not looking like anything too crazy on here. This one feels pretty generic. They're using the generic website that everyone else is kind of using, so I think this one's gonna be below average. All right, let's go to the roster. Let's see what's going on here. Who are our breakout players? Because there's a ton that could be on the Grizzlies. One of the deeper rosters in the NBA. Jalen Wells, obviously, was in Rookie of the Year conversations this last year. Was a nice 3-and-D player. A lot of room to grow. Probably going to be able to have a similar role this next year. So if we can see any sort of growth or consistency or just the ability to kind of create his own shot in any sense of the form, you could start to have a pretty good basketball player there. So Jalen Wells, obvious answer. Scottie Pippen, you give him the minutes, you know you're going to see some stuff. Ty Jerome, I think we probably saw the max of his abilities this last year, so I'm not sure you're going to see the same level of production. Maybe that's just my skepticism. I hope to see that, but Ty Jerome, probably not someone I'm throwing into this conversation. Vince Williams Jr., hopefully he's healthy and able to play some more this year. Santi Aldama, very underrated, underappreciated player, so I'm not sure I'm going to see a breakout player in him, though. Let's see. Who else could it be? Zach Edey's obviously going to get more minutes, and there's some very simple things that if he improves on, he could be a much more effective player, so we could see him kind of fall into that one. GG Jackson's an obvious one. I think Grizzlies fans all kind of understand how good that they think this guy could be, and I talk about him on my channel a lot. I think there's so much talent, and I think there's such an all-around basketball player in there that I'd really like to see be brought out. But again, this is a deep team, and he's in a position where they don't necessarily need as much help unless he can truly play like more of a wing role for them as opposed to like a forward, because there just is better depth at one position versus the other. But hey, if we can develop some more of the ball handling creation skills, and we can still be a nice outside shooter, the athleticism's there and everything. We saw how dominant he was in like Summer League, and again, Summer League doesn't really matter, but the guy's obviously a pretty talented basketball player. Hope to see him get a chance to shine this year. If not, move him somewhere else, man. Move him somewhere else, please. Like, just free my mans. But anyway, that's Memphis. Moving on to the New Orleans Pelicans. Oh boy, New Orleans. Tell me y'all have an okay website, because it's been an interesting offseason for y'all. Schedule release. I get it. Schedule release happened. They released 3 things about the schedule on the same day. They even said Pelicans face daunting start to 2025. What? And they're like, look, y'all, this shit gonna be hard for us based on who we're playing. What the fuck? I can't, man, with New Orleans, man. I just can't. All right, they announced the Emirates Cup. Cool. Herb Jones off-season workouts. Fun. Nah, you said yourself, you're like, hey, y'all, it might not be pretty to start the year. Nah, I can't. Y'all get below average for website. Below average. All right. Breakout players. If Zion Williamson plays a full season, is he considered a breakout? What? Y'all doing all right? How can we help you? Let's see. I have other questions. Pelicans chat. Email customer service. What? That's bullshit. Y'all asked me if I needed anything and said, oh yeah, if y'all need something, go talk to someone else. Anything else we can help with? No. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, if Zion plays like a full season and he's just Zion and he dominates everybody, because that's what he does whenever he does play, is that breakout, or is he just healthy now? That's probably the main question for that one. Jordan Poole actually sneakily had a very good NBA season this last year. Just he played on the Wizards, right? And there was just a lot of hubbubaloo everywhere. So curious to see what he's able to do this year in New Orleans. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt, because everybody seems to get hurt here. Who else could be breakout on this team? I don't think it's going to be like an Yves Missy necessarily. I'm not sure we have like the team around him to be like, oh yeah, like this guy's true, obvious starting center now, right? Jose Alvarado, I don't think so. Jordan Hawkins, if he can be any sort of consistent, maybe. Trey Murphy obviously had quite the breakout year kind of last year. If he comes back and is able to build upon that even more, I mean, then you're starting to have a borderline all-star type player, and I think he's going to have some pretty good opportunities this year, so I'd like to think that Trey Murphy can still kind of find himself in that one. So I guess Trey Murphy's the obvious one here. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know who else it would be. So I'm gonna go with Trey Murphy for this one. And now one more team, the San Antonio Spurs. What do we got here? All right, generic website. Statement from San Antonio Spurs managing partner Peter J. Holt. Okay, I got this goddamn coyote on the screen here. What does it look? It looks like the Five Nights at Freddy bots. I don't like that. I never played that game or saw that movie or anything. Not understanding who's going to those. Spurs announced coaching and promotions. Spurs schedule release. Why is this the schedule release? What are those? Are those raisins? I'm confused. More schedule release. They re-signed Harrison Ingram to a 2-way. Okay. Below average website. Sorry, San Antonio. Y'all do everything else well, but apparently not websites. Victor Wembanyama, obvious option as he continues to grow. I mean, he's already a pretty phenomenal player in the NBA, but there's, look, as good as he is, there's still a lot of things we can improve on in terms of efficiency and just decision making and stuff like that in the NBA. And look, he's young. That's going to come with time. Just having better players around him, that's going to help a lot too. So Victor Wembanyama is kind of an obvious one. Keldon Johnson, I don't know. I feel like Keldon Johnson's kind of is what he is. Stephon Castle, yeah, if we get any sort of like offensive consistency, I think he could really be that. There's like some sort of garbage truck or something driving by right now, so hopefully you guys can't hear that because I'm not going to stop to make an edit in this video. Stephon Castle is a pretty obvious one here. Had a really fun rookie season. A lot of just little things to improve on because there's a lot of good about him already. As cool as he was defensively, and a lot of times he was out of position consistently throughout the season. So there's just like little like team basketball things that if you add defensively, this guy is a phenomenal all-around defensive player now, right? And not just an on-ball guy that's poking the ball free, and then you guys are going like, oh my god, AVC, he's the best defender ever. I love it. Like, I love what he's able to do right now. He's just a rookie. Just chill yourselves out a little bit. Not everybody's a 10 out of 10 or a 0 out of 10. Sometimes they're just like a 5 or a 6 right now, and that's where I kind of got him right now, and on our way to becoming a 10 out of 10, right? So that's what we're hoping to see. If we can just get any consistency in like the jump shot or something like that, that'd be really cool. Curious to see how he's going to fit in kind of this trio of guards that they have here, and add Devin Vassell as well, right? Who else do we got here? Sohan. Can we just find like a consistent role for Sohan? Like, what do we want from him, right? What exactly do we want from him? I'm not sure. Carter Bryant, he's a rookie, right? Who else? Devin Vassell, like, look, dude can get you around 20 points per game already. I'm not sure he's going to cap out as anything more than that, but that's a nice thing just to have already. Julian Champagnie, if you give him more minutes, you might get some more solid production out of him. But this just feels like a Stephon Castle one, right? Or a Wembanyama. Can we continue to build on what was a fun rookie season, right? Can we just add a little bit more consistency around you to kind of take you to that next level, right? That's what I'll be curious to see. So I think I'm going to go with Stephon Castle for this one. And that right there is our players that we think are going to... What's the term for this? Like I said, man, scuffed YouTube videos at this point of the year. Breakout players for the 2025-2026 season. We went through them all, and we graded the websites, the most important thing in these videos. But seriously, no, I appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning into this. I'll get you guys, like, a FIBA video, most likely at the beginning of next week. I've also got one where I'm going to be grading my most watchable, or the teams I'm most... wanting to watch this next year. Next week, I was really hoping that restricted free agency would kind of be done by now, but, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, let's move on to the comment of the video. Alrighty, y'all, comment to the video is coming from my way too early NBA awards predictions video right here, and it's coming from our friend here, JKF9167. I just really liked this this comment. He said, I agree with you that awards and award controversies are kind of bullshit. If you want to watch a judged sport, watch gymnastics, which I've learned is actually, like, there is, like, judgment in it, but, like, the scoring is actually, like, a bit scientific as well, which is kind of interesting. They're probably more athletic than Amen Thompson. Yeah, gymnasts, I always say craziest athletes in the world. They're like explosive, graceful, strong, like everything, whatever that means. But judge sports aren't political. They're yeah, exactly. Your beauty contest analogy is on point. Blah 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 blah. He said, I don't understand why basketball fans have all these Mount Rushmores and everything. Each kind of sports fandom has its own mental illness. In basketball, it's the GOAT conversations and MVP hyperventilating. I like this, right? Because I don't typically enjoy doing videos like this. I don't know. I know they get more clicks and more views and things like that, but I just think they always spiral into kind of silly conversations more so than anything else. And so that's why I tend not to do them like overly during the NBA season or whatever, but I just liked this. And also, I liked a lot of the people in the comments section that were just like, look, the basketball analysis is great, but I'm here for your AVC, what the fuck points of the video. So those were fun. I love reading those. But hey, if you guys want a place to talk some basketball, go join the Discord. Link is here in the description. We're talking hoops on there all the time. And reminder that September 1st, season preview is back. I want these videos to perform well because there's going to be a decent amount of effort put into them. We're going to be going over a bunch of different things, getting you prepped for the regular season by going in depth on every single NBA team. If you're a basketball sweat, it's where you should be. Even if it's not your favorite team, go learn some more about other people so you don't end up like Lakers fans or things like that are so just centralized at looking at themselves. But anyway, I appreciate you guys as always. Hope you have a good weekend. Bye.